6:42, 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. Tashara Jones, St. Louis City Treasurer, joins us here in studio. Good morning, Tashara.
Good morning.
You are talking about the Financial Empowerment Fair at Harris Stowe. What is that all about?
So we're bringing together a host of banks, credit unions, and state and federal agencies to give out good information about finances and how to manage your money. I don't know if you know, but St. Louis tops the nation in the number of households, minority households, that are unbanked or underbanked. And what that means is that people don't use checking or traditional checking or savings account or bank or credit union to transact business.
Mm-hmm.
And that over a lifetime could cost a family over $40,000.
Financial and money management is probably the biggest thing for everybody, because they teach you about what George Washington said in school, but they don't teach you about compound interest.
Right, exactly. Or they don't teach you about APRs, or they don't teach you about how not to use payday loans.
Right.
Or title loans here. So,
right.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get to when and where is this Financial Empowerment Fair?
So this Saturday, April 26th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Harris Stowe State University in the Clay Center.
Gotcha. Free?
Free.
Free and open to the public.
Free and open to the public. We have activities for kids. We have a scavenger hunt. We've got Clifford the Big Red Dog coming. We've got the Magic House.
Right.
And then also things for adults as well.
It's almost like if you don't learn it, it's almost like reading. If you can't read, you're afraid to tell people you can't read.
Exactly. It's that term, financial literacy.
Right.
And what does that simply mean? It's just understanding how money works.
Right. And you shouldn't be ashamed if you don't know how money works. It's okay. None of us really understand it, but the more you know, the better off you are.
Exactly. And what we're also trying to do is build a better relationship between the public and banks, because we realize that one of the main reasons why people don't use a traditional bank or credit union is that they don't trust them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to rebuild that relationship.
Which is so interesting, because you don't trust a bank, but you'll trust a payday loan place.
Right. I know. Doesn't make sense.
Why is St. Louis, I wonder, one of the top, places where they have this issue?
Well, one of the reasons I believe is we also don't have good regulations on our payday lending industry. It's allowed to run rampant. You see them everywhere in the community. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, the legislature hasn't taken the steps to try and rid our communities of payday lenders.
That's interesting, because we've been talking about regulations on many fronts this morning.
Yeah.
And
Chad Johnson, a receiver for the Bengals, they did an HBO show about the Bengals spring training or fall camp or whatever, and he was there talking about how here's an athlete who makes millions of dollars, didn't have a checking account. And the coach is like, "What are you insane? What do you do?" He's like, "Oh, I just keep cash around." It's like, well, you're. It was amazing to me that this millionaire NFL player, again, didn't understand the basics of banking and understanding that you shouldn't be walking around with $50,000 worth of cash.
Right. It's also one of those things we learn from our parents.
Right.
We learn, the differences between right and wrong and, the golden rule. But sometimes we don't get those lessons about the importance of having a checking account and a relationship with a financial institution.
Stashing it under your mattress, not a good thing.
Not a good idea.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
And we should mention that those payday loans, people listening, those payday loans, they're charging you an exorbitant fee to do something the bank would do for you for virtually nothing.
For virtually nothing, right? 1,000% sometimes.
Right.
And our payday lending legislation allows you to constantly roll over. So a $500 loan until the next payday, of course you can't afford to pay it off the next time. So it's going to roll over. Then you're going to add fees upon interest upon interest. And before you know it, you're paying, $1,200 or more back to a payday lender.
Yeah. And how many times I've heard this story is you want something, a computer, washer, dryer, TV, whatever, and they say, hey, free financing for 12 months. You think, great. It turns out that if you don't pay that off in the 12 months, not only will the interest be 29%, but they'll start the clock 12 months late, so the day you leave the store.
Exactly.
So if you don't pay it off by 12 months, the interest starts accruing the day you leave the bank. So that $1,000 TV now costs you $2,000.
Right, and that's called an installment loan, and those can be predatory as well. And the other thing that people don't realize is rent to own is predatory as well. You look at the commercials. You can get a TV for $12 a week or whatever that amounts to, but
Right.
over
20 years.
40 weeks or something like that. And
Right.
you end up. You're better off saving $12 a week and waiting until Black Friday.
Right, and it's a bad TV, and it's a used TV, an old model TV. Yeah, great point. Okay, so it's this Saturday at Harris Stowe. Is there a website to find out more information?
They can go to the Treasurer's website, stlouis-mo.gov,
Okay.
and just search for the Treasurer. I believe it's up on the homepage.
Or just go to Harris Stowe, 11 o'clock on Saturday.
11 o'clock on Saturday.
Okay, great. While we still have you, anything new with the parking meters downtown you can tell us about? You want to make any news here?
No, we're getting a lot of great feedback. The survey is also up on our website, and people are really enjoying the option of being able to pay however they want. So they can use a credit card or an app. We have about 4 more months left in the trial. It ends at the end of July, and then after that, we'll pick a vendor, but 20% of our decision is based on public feedback, so we need as much feedback as possible.
There was some in the Central West End, I think it was you, who were saying that people didn't trust the meters or trust running your debit card through.
Right.
Is that people learning that and using that more?
So I haven't seen the most recent numbers, but in the first month with the other meters there, we found that at least 60% of the money we were collecting was via credit card on the new meters, and it was still the same with the older credit card meters that we first rolled out. So I haven't seen an update, but as soon as I get one, I'll send it to you.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Tashara Jones, St. Louis City Treasurer, talking to us about this financial empowerment fair, which is a great idea. Harris Stowe, 11 o'clock this Saturday. Tashara, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
You got
Thank
it. Do we hand you red light camera tickets to fix, or we do some?
No,
we don't.
we just
That'd be
do
a different
parking
department.
tickets. Just parking
Different department,
tickets.
McGraw.
All right, fair enough. 7